Hold on one second. We're about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we're doing over here, baby. Let's go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only James Williams, Dark Waters, and I'm back. And I'm going to start this video by addressing something that, just in my opinion, was a comment that I saw. And I don't mean this in a negative way. The comment was a genuine comment. The guy was saying, hey, James, I've been watching you for a while, but I get confused. I'm trying to get closer to the Lord, but it seems like there's all of these rules. And I can get where you're coming from. However, you need to understand, what Jesus Christ wants is a relationship with you. And what I'm talking about is relationship. It's a relationship to understand and know your God. The Bible says those who know their God will be strong and do exploits, right? And so I talk from a point of exploring God. It's how you explore him to the point to where you're saying, okay, what are you doing in the news today? What are you doing? Not what Donald Trump is doing, not what this person is doing, not what that. But it starts with prayer. It's why if you ever watched all these series of videos, the very beginning I started talking to you about was praying in prayer. And if you stay in prayer, then you will continue to explore God. But it's about having a relationship with him. And people say relationship, but it's more than that. It's about being intimate with him. If you ever had a girlfriend or a wife, then you know there's a certain level of intimacy there. Like, you know your wife, you know your girlfriend. And that's what you strive for. You strive to be intimate, not just relationship, but intimate. Relationship is like, hey, I know you, you know me. Intimacy is like, I wake up, what you doing today? What's going on? What you want to talk about today? You want to have some coffee with me today? You want to hang out with me? Where you going today? What's happening in your world today? This is what's happening in my world. Intimacy. But the only way you get that intimacy is diving into the word. And so when you see me do bigger deep dives like I did last night about King Asa and Saul, it's not something to be intimidated by. It just goes to show you that the answers to every problem that you will ever face is there in the Word of God. Jesus is the Word, so the answers are in Jesus. I hope that helps the individuals who find themselves feeling like they're intimidated. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. That's all we talk about over here. That's all we talk about. Now, with the context of last night's video, or midnight video, where I was playing Alex Jones, and Alex was talking about the breakdown of what was going on with Donald Trump. And then we spun into the biblical aspects of King Asa, King Saul, and what it means in this current modern day time. We should take another closer look at what's going on with Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie. Because this attack that Donald's doing is not going to work. Because quite frankly, he's in the wrong. And it's making him look petty, and it's making him look weak, and it's giving his enemies opportunities. Now, with that being said, remember, I'm not throwing a baby out with the bathwater, because there's other things that he's doing that's fantastic and great. One of the reasons we got to this point and we've had this problem is because when people would put a president in office, they wouldn't hold him accountable. And so now this level of accountability that Donald Trump is experiencing is commensurate to the amount of responsibility that people have given him. So he should be held accountable. People should be pushing back on him, and they are doing what they need to do. The shots at Thomas Massie, talking about his marriage, come across as real petty and childish and prideful. But nonetheless, it's not going to work out the way he thinks it's going to work out. And why do I say this? The reason why I say this is because dethronings happen because of unrighteousness. Dethronings don't happen because you don't necessarily agree with the person, because you don't like the person, or because the person didn't agree with you. They happen because of unrighteousness. So Thomas Massie could lose his seat, but Thomas Massie is going to be a thorn in President Donald Trump's side no matter what. Marjorie Taylor Greene could lose her seat, but she's finna be a thorn in his side no matter what. Why? Because these were people who supported him, and they represent a part of his movement. I want to hear from Thomas Massie himself on where he stands. Now, has Thomas Massie voted against Donald Trump more often than not? Absolutely, absolutely. I don't understand what the interpersonal relationship is between the two of them, where the offense came in, because clearly this is an offense. But with that being said, the problem that Donald's going to have is you're spending more time now fighting people who put you in office and got in office than the people that you were put there to fight. And that's a huge problem for Donald Trump.
And I'm joined now by Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky, who led the effort to release the Epstein files. Congressman Massie, thank you for being here. President Trump fought long and hard to prevent your discharge petition from going through. You won that battle. Now, what happens? How many Republicans in the House follow your lead and defy the president on this?
I think we could have a deluge of Republicans. There could be 100 or more. I'm hoping to get a veto-proof majority on this legislation when it comes up for a vote. And, you know, the president's been saying this is a hoax. He's been saying that for months. Well, he's just now decided to investigate a hoax, if it's a hoax. And I have another concern about these investigations that he's announced. If they have ongoing investigations in certain areas, those documents can't be released. So this might be a big smokescreen, these investigations, to open a bunch of them as a last-ditch effort to prevent the release of the Epstein files.
I mean, it is extraordinary to hear him demand an investigation and only mention Democrats, only mention his political opponents. But you're saying he may not really even want any investigation. He wants to prevent the release. Why does he want to prevent this? What is he afraid of?
You know, I've never said that these files will implicate Donald Trump. And I really don't think that they will. I think he's trying to protect a bunch of rich and powerful friends, billionaires, donors to his campaign, friends in his social circles. And that's my operating theory on why he's trying so hard to keep these files closed.
What do you think is actually in these files? I mean, we've seen so much Epstein material, from the criminal cases, the stuff that just came out this week, you know, from the estate. What do you think is left?
Yeah, I don't have to guess at what's in the files. I've talked to the survivors through their lawyer, and we know there are at least 20 people in those files. There are politicians, billionaires, movie producers who are implicated criminally, who haven't been investigated. And it's up to the FBI, not the survivors and the DOJ, to release those names, or at least to investigate them. And when I see Donald Trump announce a bunch of investigations, I don't see him going after these rich elites that are implicated in these files, according to the survivors.
This is an issue that's not going anywhere. And I'm going to tell you, if he would not have made a deal to protect the people that he protected, and I understand why he made the deal. I told you guys it's blackmail material. It's blackmail material. So I understand why he made the deal. It's blackmail material. So, hey, I got you on this. Now, if you do this, I'm going to look out for you. But you're going to have to give up A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because he's a deal maker. But the problem is, like I said the other day, you can't make a deal with wickedness, because it's a tar baby. The minute you touch it, you get some of that. Even if you're able to pull your hand off of it, you still got the residue all over your hands. It's one of those things where you should have just burnt them all to the ground. Then people will say, well, James, and then people are right when they say this. Well, if he burnt those people to the ground, then he burns the whole system to the ground, and the economy will collapse and all this stuff will happen. Absolutely. And a lot of people would have been implicated. Absolutely. But quite frankly, that wasn't what he was sent there to do. He wasn't sent there to make a deal with wicked people. He was sent there to destroy them. And this is the ramifications and repercussions of not destroying your enemy. I'm sorry. I mean, you can look at the Bible, what happens every time God told somebody to wipe out an enemy. And if it's good, if God don't have a problem with wiping a whole people out, then trust me, you shouldn't have no problem with wiping a whole enemy out. I'm sorry. Herein lies the problem. So now, in order to defend the deals that he's made, he has attacked Thomas Massie and attacked Marjorie Taylor Greene, which means he has to attack his base. The very first time he did it, when he was like, oh, the Epstein files are a hoax, and he tried to rebrand it and move people away from it, he got this anger and ire and this vitriol that came against him. So now it's coming again, combined with the crap that he's been doing for Israel, and Israel going crazy attacking his influencers, combined with people saying that Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly are not MAGA and making death threats against them. It's a powder keg for him. It's truly a powder keg for him. Hold on. And then when you combine, we're going to go look and see what General Flynn has to say. Well, before we go to General Flynn, let's go look at more. And so now the president has pushed some of his greatest supporters to outlets like CNN to talk. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene probably would have never went on CNN. She wouldn't have never went on The View. But you've pushed this person in this direction. That's the unfortunate thing. Like, you can push people into a corner where they become your enemy. And it's a dangerous thing. So here she is on CNN talking about what's going on.
I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected. And I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration. And I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country. And that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
Wow, this woman's actually hurt. Damn, Donald, you hurt her, Donald. You hurt her. She's actually hurt. I don't know if you heard it in her voice. She's hurt. Ooh. And it would make sense that he should know better than this. I mean, the president should know better than this. Like, men, you could call men traitors and do all this other stuff because, quite frankly, a man to pull a knife out and stab in your back so quick is ridiculous. But when you have a woman that's supporting you, they tend to be really ride or die. And so now you hurt her. When a woman starts expressing the thing that hurt me the most is this: Donald, President Trump, I need you to understand that woman is not going to back down. And if you keep on pressing, that's going to be your enemy. That'll be the same person that wait and take you down. It'll come from close. All I can tell you is when you listen to what she's saying, you hear it in her voice. I'm going to replay it again. I want y'all to listen. Now, if you're watching these videos, the whole purpose of us going through this is because we're looking at from using the discernment that the Lord has given us to watch the news and siphon through the news to see what we can glean. You know, the amazing thing about the last video I created was, the video was 40 minutes long, and I believe everybody started making their comments within the first 5 freaking minutes. The majority of the people didn't watch the whole video. And so you have these people who come out and just start, Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. You don't know what you're talking about. How can you support Donald Trump? And I'm like, yo, somebody even started talking about Donald Trump is not of the order of Melchizedek. He's not of Jesus. And I'm just like, yo, y'all are crazy. You don't even understand what the order of Melchizedek is. Jesus Christ is the king and priest, the head of the order of Melchizedek. When you accept Jesus Christ, you become of that order, because you've been made a king and a priest. So anybody who accepted Jesus Christ is of that order. You just have to know how to function in that order. So when I talk about his kingship and his priesthood, if he accepted Jesus Christ, which I believe until he proves me he has not, then he's functioning in that. Point blank, period. Including your crazy behind, who's on the comments going crazy. It's not something that you choose. It's something that he did for you. It's not something that, it's not a status that you choose. It's a status that you become because of what he did. Now, can you function in it? Yeah, many people function in it, don't even know they functioning in it. Many people do it, don't have no clue what they're doing. But it's knowledge and understanding of what the finished works, plural works of Jesus Christ is. There's no finished work, like one work, it's works, plural, of Jesus Christ. And it's amazing because, oh, he's not this, he's not that. Okay. Are you? Marjorie Taylor Greene is of the order. You can tell by where she got to. You can tell by the statements she made. I can't say Thomas Massie is because I haven't seen the statements Thomas Massie made, but I can see the statements Marjorie Taylor Greene has made. How do I know? Because she's standing on the principle, a very powerful principle, which is righteousness. No, you can't not be in line with these wicked people. And the craziest thing, all these Christians coming out attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was never MAGA in the first place. She was never this. She was never that. Do you even understand your faith? Do you understand the kingdom that you're in? Nah. I was saying that the woman's hurt. Let's go back and I want you to hear it again.
I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected. And I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration. And I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country. And that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems.
Here it comes. Now, if you're on a big TV, you'll be able to look into this woman's eyes. But I want you to look into her eyes. And she says what comes next.
The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor, and that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations. And I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files. And I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do my small part to get the files released.
Now let me say this, just so everybody understands this. If Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, or the guy, whoever he is that the FBI is suing, if any one of those people get their head bust, it's over for Donald Trump. He escaped the head busting of Charlie Kirk by the skin of his teeth. Because remember, Charlie Kirk was murdered. People don't have no answers to the murder of Charlie Kirk. I know Erica Kirk has answers. Candace Owens is pushing for answers, which is strange because everybody attacks Candace Owens because she's trying to figure out, expose what happened to her friend. I don't get on the attack Candace Owens train because, quite frankly, that's not my position to do. God has called her to do what she's going to do. And she clearly going to do whatever she feel like she need to do. But you escaped the Charlie Kirk murder by the skin of your teeth. Nobody knows about Thomas Crooks, who tried to assassinate you. All I can say, and I said this before, if one more person that supports you gets their head rocked off their shoulders, Mr. President, there's nothing anybody can do to help you. You gonna watch people walk away from you unlike anything you ever seen. So it would behoove you not to be going at your own people's necks, which opens the door for people to be like, oh, that person's unprotected, let's go get him. It would have been better if you brought Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all them people and had a private meeting at Camp David, and you guys went behind closed doors and through tables and through chairs and fought, physically fist fought behind closed doors. Then you fight out in the open. Now, to Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know about Thomas Massie, but to Marjorie Taylor Greene, all I'm gonna say is, this is one of them ones, sister, where you go and you, because this is one of the ones where you say what you got to say to the media, stop talking, get off the scene for about 3 days, fast and pray, because you got a whole system about to come after you. I mean, a whole world system is getting ready to come after you. It's like someone lifting a. You ever had one of those griddles where you take the little metal lid and you put it on a griddle and you're steaming your vegetables, and it's this pressure inside of there, and then when you take the lid off, all that air come rushing in. The lid been taken off. The lid was kind of protecting you in the steam cooker. The lid been took off. That's cool. You don't need Donald Trump to protect you, but you do need the Lord to protect you. So what you do is you back away from everybody. Don't matter what nobody's saying. Back away, go to the private place, the secret place, and go snitch. If I was you, I'd be snitching. I thought the bird was about to land right here on the computer. He landed on the computer earlier, like literally right next to the, like, I would go snitch. I'll snitch. Be like, Lord, you put this man here to do a job, and he ain't doing the job. You said you have you wouldn't have no fellowship with unrighteousness. He having fellowship with unrighteousness. Now, Lord, I know he's doing all these other good things, but maybe I don't understand what you doing through him. So I will go find out if I'm missing something. Am I missing something? Am I wrong? Am I missing something that you doing? Because it could be that the Lord is doing something. And then if I don't find out that I'm missing something, then okay, Lord, then I'm going to have to ask that you deal with this. And he going to have to stop this when it pertains to me. He can talk about anybody else however the hell he want to, but you going to have to stop this one for me, Lord, because this don't make no sense. And that's what you're entitled to in your faith. All I can say, guys, if Donald J. Trump lets another person that's been a supporter of him get rocked, he got a problem.